Hello, welcome to my video. It's your host, 19 Road to Gamer 19,000, and hello, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 15 of Random Multiclass Thursdays, The Gunslinger. Before this video begins, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and yeah, let's get right into today's video. So yeah, this video isn't only just a Gunslinger build, it is also my new Artificer build. I've decided that since at least, Kobe from D&D D4 Deep Dive did a Unearthed Arcana Artificer build, I was like, I'll do one too. But yeah, so today I'm doing the Gunslinger, and I've had a lot of issues with the Artificer. Go check out my Artificer video, cards and video cards. And I had a lot of problems with the Artificer, I had a lot of issues. I thought overall it was genuinely pretty weak. Well, until you reach those high enough levels, well, at least in the base class was. Now, I have built the Artificer and have realized that the subclass does carry it a lot, and if you don't have a strong enough base class, then you are overall just going to be, a strong enough subclass, you're going to be really, really bad, because yeah, the subclass matters a ton for this build, which I will be showing off, but yeah, those are our final thoughts. We'll be saved for the end, as they always are, but yeah. For weapons use, we'll be using a light crossbow. It has the slow weapon mastery. Well, I'm not abusing slow at all, so I don't really care for the weapon mastery. But light crossbow does have slow, so take that as you will. For species, we are going Dragonborn. We're not using the breath weapon here, solely because of the draconic flight. I thought, oh, it might be good to be able to fly up because you are again a gunslinger. Also, it could help because this is semi an Iron Man build because you are an artificer and you really are doing like plasma cannons and stuff of that nature. So if you want to go full on Iron Man, you could just reflavor being a Dragonborn into just being Iron Man if you really wanted to. What the hell happened? Okay, for our origin and origin feat, honestly, I recommend you're going custom, sage, or criminal. You don't really need to go custom. I honestly thought going criminal here might be a better option. But Sage is super nice. Again, just to pick up that Magic Initiate Wizard. Yeah, I'm assuming there's probably some type of like little combo you can do. Because overall, oh yeah, no, yeah, okay. I went here criminal, but in my personal opinion, because I just remembered why. Honestly, I think maybe going Sage might be better because picking up Find Familiar on this build is pretty damn massive for a reason we'll get at level 5. But yeah, you probably should go Sage with this build. You can go Criminal if you want to, but I recommend just going Sage. We are increasing our Constitution and Intelligence here as we go into the stats. As you can see, we have an 8 Strength, 14 Dexterity, just so then we can get a +2 to any medium armor we're wearing, a 15 Con with a +1 to a total 16, 15 Intelligence with a +2, total 17, 10 Wisdom, and a Charisma. My standard stat array. But yeah, overall, again, 14 dexterity, just because we are wearing medium armor here, because we are proficient with medium armor. This is just to get the maximum out of it, and I like to round out wisdom just to make sure our wisdom score is never negative. Now, Artificer level 1, we get Magical Tinkering and Spell Casting. Now, we all know how Spell Casting works, but Magical Tinkering is a pretty bad feature in my opinion. As a magic action, while holding Tinkerer's tools, you can create one item in an occupied space within 5 feet of yourself. Now this item I think only lasts for like an hour, or yeah, I think it only lasts for an hour, but it can basically be almost any non-magical item in the game. So like bedroll, torches, dice, stuff like that. Like just my new non-magical items. I'm pretty sure you can make alchemist fires, which is give me situationally. So overall, level 1 artificers are pretty. No, sorry, level 1 artificers are pretty damn weak. But they do get level 1 spells, of course: Cure Wounds, Disguise Self, Featherfall, Longstrider. They also get cantrips, which is really good because they also get the True Strike cantrip. So at level 1, you're just going to be true striking with your crossbow. Call it a day. Artificer level 2, however, is actually when you start cooking a little bit, you get Replicate Magic Item. Basically, you have a certain amount of features. Okay, imagine the 2014 Artificer, but just every single moment of infusion is now replaced with magical item plans. It's the same scaling as 2014, it's just all been renowned. So the amount of plans is equal to the amount of infusions you would have known as a 2014 Artificer, and the amount of magic items you can replicate is the same amount of items you can have infused as a 2014 Artificer. It's all the same stuff. Basically, when you finish a long rest, you can create a certain amount of magic items, and at level 2, you can create Alchemy Jug, Bag of Holding, Cap of Water Breathing, Common Magic Item that isn't a potion, scroll, or cursed. Goggles of Night, Rope of Climbing, Sending Stones, a Shield +1, Wand of Magic Detection, Wand of Secrets, Wand of the War Mage, and a +1 weapon. So for this whole build, I will be assuming we're taking a +1 weapon and a +1 shield until I tell you we're not. So yeah, at level 2, Artificers do certainly get a bump, but you're still overall pretty weak, which is honestly a really big issue I have with the Artificer. At level 1 and 2, you kind of just suck until you get your subclass, and if your subclass is one of the bad ones, then you still kind of just suck. Because yes, you have spellcasting, but I think people really need to realize that half spellcasting is not as good as full spellcasting. The only reason wizards can have 0 features is because they have the best spell list in the game and know the most spells and can cast the most of them. Artificers, however, don't have the wizard spell list. They have a really crappy version of it, can cast half the amount of spells. They need these other features, and yeah, the subclass is good, but the base class is just really weak in my personal opinion. But again, that's just all my personal opinion. But now we have artillerists. So as the artillerist, you get tool proficiency. If we want to craft any magic wand, the time to craft it is halved, which is pretty nice. Also, as artillerist, we get the level 1 spells of Shield and Thunderwave. Really nice. Shield is amazing spell. Thunderwave is right, but we also get our Eldritch Cannon. Basically, as a magic action, we can choose to create a smaller, tiny Eldritch Cannon in any unoccupied space. Now, if the cannon is tiny, you will be able to wield it like a gun. So basically, you're creating yourself a gun. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna flavor it with this build. It's not even flavoring. Literally says it. It's just a gun. The gun has some HP, its own armor class. But if I'm being honest, I feel like if you're wielding it as a gun, not many DMs are gonna be like, oh, he attacks your gun. I feel like that's pretty damn stupid. But yeah, as a bonus action, you can command it, and it can do a horde of stuff. You can either order it to use the flamethrower, force ballista, or protector option. The flamethrower is your spell save DC. Dexterity saving throw will take 2d8 fire damage. Not bad. The force ballista is a ranged spell attack roll, dealing 1d with 120 feet, dealing 2d8 damage. 2d8 force damage, which is actually pretty damn nice. Force is a uncommonly resisted item. Now, if you do want to, you could make a Wand of the War Mage +1, because I'm pretty sure that would affect your Eldritch Cannon. But make a ranged spell attack. Yeah, I mean, it's making a range, so I guess no, but it's like it's the Eldritch Cannon that makes the ranged spell attack. It's not you that are making it. So I don't know if the Wand of the War Mage would help you. So I think that's definitely an Ask Your DM type of thing. Also the Protector, the cannon emits a burst of positive energy that grants itself in every creature, and in each creature of your choice within 10 feet of it, a number of temporary hit points equal to a d8 plus your int modifier. Not bad, I guess. Could be worse. Now we got the Artificer. At level 4 Artificer, we're taking Warcaster here. Yeah, it's just nice. Yeah, no, I should say +1 one of the best feats for spellcasters, and also if your DM is annoying about semantic components, they're no longer, because you can just do them for free. So yeah. Now, Artificer level 5, this is when stuff really starts to kind of activate. Now, we do gain Scorching Ray and Shatter, but we also get second level spells here, which is pretty massive for this build, but we do also gain a subclass feature of Arcane Firearm. When you finish your long rest, you can use woodcarver tools to carve a special sigil into your rod, staff, or wand, and thereby turn it into an arcane firearm. The sigil disappears from the object if you later card them onto a different item. The sigil otherwise lasts indefinitely. You can use your arcane firearm as a spellcasting focus for your artificer spells. When you cast the artificer spell through the firearm, roll a d8, and you gain a bonus to one of the rolls of the spell's damage equal to the number rolled. Basically, any spell you cast now deals an additional d8 of damage, which is pretty damn nice, and honestly, works quite well with Scorching Ray, yeah, but they do have the limitations only once, so you can't just Scorching Ray and then get a DA on every single Scorching Ray, which would be very broken. But, I kind of wish at least for, like, the playtest version, they let it happen. Because it's a playtest, it's gonna get, taken out when people complain about it, but I don't know, I just thought it would have been funny. But at level 2 spells, we get Dragon's Breath, Homunculus, Servant, Invisibility, and Web. Yes, Homunculus Servant is now a spell instead of an infusion. I don't know how I feel about that, but Dragon's Breath is now a new spell Artificers get, and very impactful because of Homunculus Servant, because we now get to our level 5 damage report. So turn 1, we will be casting Dragon's Breath and then doing a crossbow true strike attack, dealing an average of 28 points of damage, because Dragon's Breath is now a bonus action, which is super nice. Should have always been a bonus action, but whatever. So yeah, 28 damage, I mean, not bad. Oh, I do have to explain what we're casting Dragon's Breath on. So, I like to imagine Homunculus Servant is a tiny creature. So, since the Homunculus Servant is tiny, and a familiar maybe like, is, what's the size of like an owl? Is my question. You know, I don't have to look this up, but whatever. Ask your DM first if your Homunculus Servant could ride your familiar as a mount. Because if they can, that would be sick as hell. And maybe like a pet owl, and just have your homunculus on top of your mount, just breathe down fire. Because you would cast Dragon's Breath on your homunculus, meaning you basically have a mini dragon. Now, of course, if they attack your familiar, then your homunculus is cooked. But still, it's free damage. Doesn't really cost you. I mean, you know, 2 spell slots is expensive, but whatever. I mean, for the sake of damage, it's alright. Now, if your DM doesn't allow to do that, you can always just make it where, I don't know, maybe like you can move in within 15 feet of a creature for your Homunculus Servant to get out of your pack, use its action to cast Dragon Breath, then you just move away, get back, do your shots, whatever, however way you want to do it. There's definitely a way for every single round to reliably get Dragon's Breath off, as an attack with having your homunculus free, or free from danger. I mean, I hit my microphone. Sorry if you heard that. But yeah, I just think the riding find familiar thing is super funny and super cool. I know some DMs may not allow it because, you know, they're boring, but again, no. If your DM doesn't allow it, put it in your backpack, it comes out, brah, yeah, you're fine. On your second turn, you'd be doing a crossbow true strike with your Eldritch Cannon, dealing an average of 37 damage. Or if you want to go a bit more Nova, you would cast Scorching Ray instead of Crossbow True Strike, dealing an average of 53.5 points of damage, with an average to hit of 18.5, and with a spell save DC of 15. Overall, yeah, 53 points of damage. As you can see, your subclass matters. I mean, yes, this is very resource intensive. 53 points of damage is resource intensive. And yes, that is also assuming Dragon's Breath and all of that. But still, the Artificer actually becomes a decent Nova damage dealer when your subclass is added. But if you notice anything, almost this whole section is straight up not we're not even using a single class feature that doesn't come from a subclass. Now you might be saying, oh, you're using your spell casting to cast Scorching Ray. Artificers don't innately get Scorching Ray. Only artillerists get Scorching Ray. Which is honestly, I think, a really bad problem with the Artificer. If you don't have a good subclass, you kind of just suck. I mean, let's look here. If you take away Eldritch Cannon and Scorching Ray, you just have your Crossbow True Strike, which is dealing 11 damage, maybe. No, you can still do the Homunculus Servant, Dragon's Breath thing. So you're doing 28 points of damage. Homunculus Servant with Crossbow True Strike. But granted, Homunculus Servant is a second level spell. Yes, you can cast it the day before and have it, but let's say you can't. Then boom, that's a second level spell. Dragon's Breath is a second level spell which you have to concentrate on. Boom, that's another one. So it's still it is a lot of stuff you have to do, very resource intensive, just for it to be dealing 28 points of damage. That's not good. If you're wasting a ton of resources to do something really cool and flashy, you should be doing a metric crap ton of damage. But the thing is, you're using a ton of resources to do 28. I mean, most paladins that are just dual wielding with Divine Favor up can do that amount of damage. And yeah, Divine Favor is a spell slot, but one level 1 spell slot compared to potentially 2 level 2 spell slots is a lot different. So again, even 2 level 1 spell slots, in my opinion, are worth way less than 1 second level spell slot, especially because you're a half caster. Now, If the Artificer was a 3/4 caster or a full caster, then this simply wouldn't be an issue. But unless the subclass of the Artificer is packing a significant punch, which I feel most simply aren't, then the Artificer kind of sucks. And the damage numbers later on will help it, but again, like, most of this is because you are an artillerist, not because you're an artificer. I simply just want to state that. Now in Artificer level 6, we get a whole bunch of stuff. We get magic item Tinker. Basically, we get drain magic item and our replication scale as our would our infusions if we were 2014 Artificer. So boom. As a bonus action, you can touch a magical item within 5 feet of yourself that you created with a magic with replicate magic item. Oh, so hard for me to read. I am a Dragon Ball fan, and we simply cannot read. And cause the item to vanish, converting it into magical energy into a spell slot. The slot is level 1 if the item is common, or level 2 if the item is uncommon or rare. Once you use this feature, you can't do so until you finish a long rest. Any spell slots you create with this feature also vanish on a long rest. And also, yeah, Replicant, I already said that. But yeah, my thoughts on that feature. It's good. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, if you wanted to, as you do see on screen, you could like have like three wand of magic missiles, use them all out, like do all 7 charges, boom, 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 waste them all, and then just throw them away, and just as a bonus action, gain back a spell slot. Which, I mean, a level 2 spell slot isn't bad. I guess another use is Dragon's Breath. I mean, actually, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I like this feature. I feel like at first most people had a very like knee jerk reaction, like, "Oh, this is so bad," but like looking at it now, like I guess if because how let me do some little explanation before. So the reason why level 6 is important, the reason I have Wand of War Mages, I'm assuming. Now some people might say that your little find familiar pet can use the Wand of Magic Missile and use its charges. Now, on the find familiar stat block it says it cannot attack. Granted, now it is, I'm pretty sure you use like the magic action to use any like type of item. Now in the I don't know if it's the DMG or the player's handbook, but there's a little thing that says any rule, when you have to use a rule the way it was intended to play, or how you believe the writers intended to design it. And I personally believe if your little find familiar can't physically attack a creature, I don't believe they should be able to use charges of a magic item that casts a spell. I like I can see rules written, they can, but I feel like if you're using also the rule where like use the feature as you believe the designers intended it. I believe the designers were not thinking about familiars using magic items, and just made it where technically they could. I personally think that's a little bit unfaithful, so I'm not gonna assume our little familiars using it. I'm assuming our pseudo familiars using it. And yeah, I'm having our homunculus servant use the one of the magic missile instead of Dragon's Breath. Now, Dragon's Breath might do more damage, but if I'm being honest, one magic missile is a guaranteed hit, guaranteed damage, and also it's just free. Doesn't cost us at a spell slot. It hardly even costs us anything. So I'm just assuming we're using the Wand of War Mage, giving it to our homunculus servant. He mounts the owl we have, and he's just wand of magic missiling all of our enemies, having fun while riding our pet owl with flyby. That's what I'm assuming. Or he's in our backpack if your DM's boring. Whatever. But now with the new magic items we can make is +1 armor, boots of Elvenkind, cloak of Elvenkind, cloak of the Manta Ray, eyes of charming, gloves of thievery, lantern of revealing, pipes of haunting, and most importantly, uncommon armor, wander weapon that isn't cursed, which of course allows us to use wand of magic missile. So yeah, I feel like level 6 is overall a pretty big level for artificers. I definitely do believe getting the one of the magic missile makes his character significantly better. Now, do I still believe the artificer is still heavily reliant on, the subclass? Yeah, because even if you did give him the one of the magic missile, their damage won't increase by much, but still, it's still nice. I guess it is another kind of way to say, oh yeah, the artificer isn't so reliant on its subclass, but still, a little. I feel like if I'm being honest, in my UA review or like my overall general review video of the Artificer, I did believe that the Wand of Magic Missile should be a level 2 item. You should get it at level 2. The reason I said this was because, first of all, it costs resources. It's not unlimited, and yeah, it is 7 uses of Magic Missile. Magic Missile is a level 1 spell that does middle. I think maximum it can do like maybe what is it? It's 3D. It can do maximum like 15 points of damage, which yeah, at level 1, that's pretty nice, but that is maximum. That is assuming you roll 3 fours, or if you're using like the other roll where you just roll for 1 missile and they all do the same damage, which I think that's dumb. Roll all the damn missiles. Get out of here. Get out. Uh, if you're using it that rule, you would have to roll 3 fours in a row, or I guess just roll 1 4, and then boom, maximum damage. But I feel like that's dumb. So whoever made that up, shut up. But yeah, overall, I feel like it can do a lot of damage, but the Artificers need it, man. Artificers don't have squibbly dots at level 2 or level 1 that really can increase their damage. And this just allows you to be an Artificer that relies on his magic more than he does his crossbow, which I feel like way better fits the flavor of being this almost like Iron Man-esque creature or character. If you could just use a Wand of the War Mage rather than have to take out your crossbow, this can be like a repulsor. You're shooting out an Iron Man-esque repulsor blast. Because Magic Missile deals force damage. A repulsor blast probably also deals force damage. It just fits your character so much better to have it significantly earlier. So in my personal opinion, I feel like Wand of the War Mage, Wand Magic Missile, my bad. You should get this at level 2, not level 6, but whatever. Artificer level 7, we get Flash of Genius. It is the same as it was in 2014. Now, I don't know how some people play it, but I know some people did mention, oh, you can now add this to ability checks. I don't know if maybe this is just a my table thing, but I've always allowed it to be used on ability checks. So I don't know if that's just me reading the rules wrong and just playing it, but you can now do both ability checks and saving throws. So yeah. Boom, there you go. At Artificer level 8, we will be taking a sci-fi plus to our intelligence to basically increase our intelligence. Our intelligence is used for literally everything, so it's probably nice to increase it. At level 9, our Eldritch Cannon gets a significant buff with Explosive Cannon. Now, when our cannon is reduced to 0 hit points, as a reaction, we can cause it to detonate. And if you are within 60 feet of it, every creature must make a saving throw, a dexterity saving throw, equal to our spell save DC, or take 3d10 force damage. Yeah, that's pretty fun. I know, I like it. I could imagine. Okay, it's only when your cannon is reduced to 0 HP. Because I could imagine if you can just do this as a reaction, you finish your turn, realize, damn, this creature isn't dead yet. Just throw your gun and force it to explode in front of your creature. I feel like that would be hilarious. But yeah, whatever. And also, the cannon's damage rolls increased by 1d8. All of its attacks now do an additional d8 of damage. Unironically, better scaling than the armor. Unironically, better scaling than the armor. I think, 6 levels earlier? With significantly better scaling. Oh, I hate the armor. Okay, and we also get level 3 spells, Elemental Weapon, Haste, Revivify. We also get Fireball and Wind Wall, which Fireball, oh my beloved, I can't wait to use you 10 times. Just wait out. Now, oh, I do want to add, I am now doing the level 12 damage report instead of level 10. I feel like the level 12 damage report just works better because we have just significantly more features, more like class representing features, and also I feel like most builds, usually most campaigns end at level 12 or around that margin. So I feel like I feel like showing the level 12 damage report is better than showing the level 10 damage report because it better shows off what this character, like what could possibly be the end for this character if you went like a level 12 to 11 to 13 campaign. So that's why I'm choosing to end it off at level 12 to show the second damage report. If you hate that and want me to change back to level 10, simply tell me. If not, then I don't know, slam your keyboard and leave that as a comment because I like engagement. But yeah, at level 10 we get magic item adept. We can now attune to 4 magic items and we get some new magic item planes. We can now make any rare magic item in the game. No, not any rare, any uncommon magic item in the game. Sorry, any uncommon. Honestly, I believe you telling me I have to wait until level 10 to get a rare wondrous item or rank? That's dumb. There's no like rare wondrous item that breaks the game. Like uncommon. I'm sorry, I mean uncommon. It's because in my mind or in my games too, because I did play test a modded version of this. They can make any up to any rare magic item in the game because that's just dumb. Not I feel like having to wait until level 14 to only make certain amounts of rare magic items is just so dumb. Like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. Like, what are you doing, bro? Come on, lock in, bro. I don't know. By level 10, my players can have basically any uncommon magic item if they really want it. So in the fact they have to wait 4 more levels just to get rares, it's like by 14th level, my players probably have their first ever legendary or already have 2 to 3 very rare magic items. So I don't know, maybe that's just like a me thing and I'm super generous with magic items because I like high power games, but still. Having to wait until level 10 to make any uncommon item, I feel like by most games, creatures, like players usually have 2 to 3 rare items at level 10. I don't know. That's dumb to me. Whatever. Again, that's just me giving a little tangent. And I do get the criticism. Oh, what if you play in a campaign with no magic items? That's not a real campaign. In my opinion, I don't know. That's just not playing D&D. Having no magic items in a D&D campaign, that isn't my style. I love magic items. They're part of the game. So yeah, I don't know. Again, that's just my opinion. But yeah, when we finish a long rest at level 11, we can now make a spell storing item. And this is as broken as you may think. Basically, any third level or lower spell we can now cast 10 times a day, taking no spell slots. Still takes the action to cast a spell, but yeah, that's the only cost, the action. No spell slots, no material components, nothing. Also, the creature who casted the spell is the one concentrating it, meaning if you make a spell storing item of haste and have the fighter cast haste, or have the wizard, I don't know, have the ranger. Oh no, you're concentrating on Hunter's Marker, an actual good spell. I don't know, if you have a creature that doesn't concentrate on spells, just let you, okay, so I guess the example here would be, let's say you have, what's a character with a good con save? Let's say you have the wizard, right? Maybe your wizard just fireball is the only spell I like casting. You give the spell ring to your wizard. Or no, okay, I got a better idea. A ranged fighter. Let's say you have a ranged fighter. They can put on the ring, cast haste on you, or the melee fighter, or the melee paladin, and just go away. They're concentrating on the spell. So now, if there's any spell you really want to concentrate on, or want your other allies to cast it on you, or any of your other allies, you don't have to worry about failing concentration checks, because now the sniper with sharpshooter 600 feet away is just taking shots. Most likely doesn't have to worry about concentration checks since he's 600 feet away in like the back of an alley somehow when you're in like the middle of the throne room and he's just in some alleyway taking shots, somehow hitting. you know, yeah, it's very broken. And our homunculus servant, it gets also a little power. I feel like the homunculus servant gets more power ups than we do as the main class, which I find hilarious, if you will. But yeah, the homunculus servant, they can now take the spell storing item and cast Fireball, or Hypnotic Pattern, or Lightning Bolt, or Haste, or Elemental Weapon. Whatever spell you have in that spell storing ring, they can now cast it and concentrate on it. So if you want to, Hypnotic Pattern, oh, you're having fun. Or you can be like me and have some fun. But before we have a lot of fun, we must reach Artificer level 12, gaining another additional feat or ASI. Honestly, pick your favorite here. I really couldn't see anything that would increase this build's damage by too much, so I decided pick your favorite. But yeah, now it's time for level 12 damage report. So on turn 1, we'll be doing a Crossbow True Strike, Eldritch Cannon, and having our Homunculus Servant do a little drive-by and cast Fireball, dealing an average of 59 points of damage. Or you can cast Scorching Ray at 3rd level with your Eldritch Cannon and Fireball, dealing an average of 81 points of damage. This is fun. I love this. This is so dumb. Yeah, 10 fireballs. Honestly, I feel like that's enough to be consistent damage for at least 1 or 2 combats. No, because I feel like most combats now. Well, okay. No, okay. I'm gonna take this with a I think with a pinch of salt, but I feel like a lot of the content creators that have been releasing videos on the Monster Manual because they are given too early by Wizard of the Coast have been saying that most combats are only lasting 3 to 5 rounds now. So, if that is true, if most combats are only 3 to 5 rounds, then that means that you'll be able to do 3 combats fireballing enemies if it's a short one, or 2 combats consistently fireballing enemies round after round after round. This is super powerful. But before you leave a comment saying, "Oh my gosh, it's so broken, I hate D&D," or "Oh my god, you're so dumb, you said the base Artificer was weak," okay, I'm gonna say, first of all, Fireball is not a spell our Artificers get. Only Artillerist Artificers get Fireball. But yeah, okay, let me, it's because there's a lot of thoughts in my head, so let me just kind of get them out of the way. I know I was going to say them for the end, but that's dumb. But yeah, Fireball, of course, is very powerful. But only Artillerists can do this. Which means, if you're playing any class that's not an Artillerist, you can't do this. Now, doesn't mean the spell storing item is still weak. No, it's still very powerful. But looking at the base Artificer spell list, I mean, you can do like a haste, maybe I think Hypnotic Pattern's armor spell. So I think you can do like a haste or an elemental weapon. Which, I mean, yeah, haste is good. And like, yeah, in theory you could pass around the item, but it's still kind of just meh. Because yeah, again, at the end of the day, haste is good. Haste does give you more damage. But we're using True Strike for all of our main damage. And our Eldritch Cannon, but Eldritch Cannon is the bonus action. So casting haste on ourselves isn't doing diddly squat. Like, you can't. Can you take the magic action with haste? Okay, actually, that matters significantly. If you could take the magic action with haste, then maybe you could crossbow true strike one of the magic missiles your enemy. Maybe I need a I think because I think it's because I know you can't take the wait is it not oh damn I don't know if it like, exempts the magic action or is just casting spells. Well, casting spells is taking the magic action, no? Man, I don't know the exact rulings. I'll check the comments and I'll leave it down. But what I'm trying to say is, basically, this is kind of just meh. Yeah, haste is good. Cast haste on your fighter, on your barbarian, on your paladin. Oh, you're cooking. On the monk, you're cooking. But if you cast haste on yourself, you're kind of just like risking losing haste and being useless for a round. So it's like and at the end of the day, like, even here, yes, supposed to ring am is a base class feature, but Fireball isn't. Meaning, if you ditch out Fireball and Eldritch Cannon and everything else, you either Crossbow, True Strike, or Scorching Ray. Now you might be saying, well, every class relies on their subclass, it's the reason they're there. Which, yes, seems like a valid criticism until you realize, if you take away Vengeance Paladin from a paladin, what exactly are they losing that they can't get anywhere else? Or like, yeah, okay, they may not have Timu Hunt Hex. They could just take Fate Touch to get the real Hex. You see, and then yeah, feats aren't free, but now they can also increase their charisma by 1, which is important because they use their charisma. Okay, the fighter doesn't have Battle Master. Yeah, you're still gonna lose damage, but you're still a great weapon master. Freaking great weapon master, 3 attacks, action surge. They're still really good. Barbarians doesn't have Berserker. Same thing as the fighter, but they have an advantage on every attack. The Ranger doesn't have its subclass. It can still do Hunter's Mark with a ton of attacks, dealing decent damage. The Monk doesn't have its doesn't have its subclass. Literally hardly affects Monk at all, damage-wise at least. You can't sing like the Wizard doesn't have a subclass, still a wizard. Sorcerer doesn't have a subclass, still a full blood sorcerer. Bard doesn't have their subclass. Well, actually, subclass affects the bard a lot, but they still are a bard. If you take away the subclass from an artificer, they're kind of a hollow of their former selves that are only truly hung up by magic items. So yeah, what are my like? It's still definitely an issue of the base class is so weak that if you don't have a subclass, you are basically useless. Or for some reason, let's say your Eldritch Cannon gets destroyed, your damage significantly decreases, or you run out of fireballs. So it's like I think this more just creates an issue where if each subclass isn't equally as broken, then the whole Artificer just sucks. Because you are because it's only the subclass that's giving you power. If you're picking a weaker subclass, then you're chalked. You're cooked. You're not doing anything useful. So yeah, I don't know. I hope they make the base class significantly stronger and maybe a little less reliant on magic items. Yeah, I guess that's their whole bit. But honestly, I would kind of prefer if they had a different bit, in my personal opinion. I don't know. Maybe if they could like do something fun. Maybe if they could like have a feature that lets them create constructs that fight for them. Make an artificer like I don't know, maybe more Iron Man style. I'm trying to think of like a summoner, or like someone that uses constructs. Well, I don't know if anyone get this reference, but Archmage Alabaster from Legends of Drakenheim follow his constructs, something like that. Maybe they can make like golems if they waste a spell slot, something like that. Or just again make them 3/4 spellcaster, make their spellcasting more reliable, more stronger, give them better spells, give them maybe fireball. Honestly, I feel like Artificer getting fireball isn't that much of a stretch, if at all. Artificers get revivified, but you can't get fireball. Like, come on, lock in, bro. Like that's, I feel like that's I feel like getting revivified is way more of a stretch than getting fireball, in my personal opinion. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, that even without your subclass, you're significantly weaker than every class without their subclass. But yeah, our fights are level 13, we get 4th level spells. Honestly, every 4th level spell is situationally useful or not very good, so pick your favorite. Or you can just always cast Ice Storm and Wall of Fire, which are two amazing spells. We get, again, as an artillerist, which I already read on the ramp, but yeah, base artificer bad, subclass is good. And yeah, now level 14, and here comes an even sadder fate. Level 14, in my opinion, is the last Artificer level where your damage scales at all. All the other features hardly provide anything. Well, no, you're level 15. Well, again, level 15 is a subclass thing. Like, if you don't have a. Whatever, we're level 14. You can now attune to 5 magic items. Good, you can also create any rare armor, ring, wand, or weapon or wondrous item that isn't cursed. Cool. We'll be making a vicious light crossbow, which deals an additional 2d6 damage when a creature hits. This extra damage is the same type of the weapon's normal damage. Yeah, overall, this is probably the best scaling the Artificer's had, since now we just have a flat extra 2d6 points of damage. Or you can make a Sunblade if you're fighting a ton of undead. Maybe you're in Curse of Strahd. Make a Sunblade and just, wing that thing around. Or any other magic items. Also, another one, you could take, you could make the Dragon Giraffe weapon from, I think, was it? What book was it? It was like the Tiamat adventure. No, it was Fizzbands. In Fizzbands, the Dragon Giraffe weapons from Fizzbands Treasure of Dragons. You can make those weapons. Those are +1s with a extra d6 of damage, and if they crit, they deal some extra damage. Overall, pretty damn good magic items. Probably would recommend picking them up. But yeah, honestly, at the end of the day, all up to you. Now we got Artificer level 15, which is our final and real increase in power. And that's only because we have a good subclass. If your subclass is bad or has a middling level 15 feature, then level 14 is your last real scale. But since we're an artillerist, our feature is broken. Now we can have 2 cannons active at the same time, and they've used the same bonus action to both do their attacks. And you and your allies have half cover within 10 feet of your Eldritch cannons. Cause of course you do. Yeah, Artillerist is still the best subclass, bar none. It is just still ridiculously powerful. Yeah, it's insane. But yeah, now as our level 15 damage report, turn 1, we'll be doing a crossbow true strike, Eldritch Cannon Fireball dealing an average of 78 points of damage, or casting Scorching Ray at 4th level with the Eldritch Cannon Fireball dealing 90 points of damage with an average to hit of 20.5 and a spell save DC of 18. And yeah. And yeah, now we go to our level 20 damage report. Which you might not be asking, why are we skipping level 16 to 20? And the reason is because we really don't gain anything. We're just significant. Now, okay, I do want to know, it says Scorching Ray is a 3rd level spell. We're casting at 5th level. Just forgot to change it. Nah, don't hung me. But yeah, the reason why we're skipping so much is because we legit don't get anything that scales your damage instead of unless it's 5th level slots. That's the only thing that scales your damage. And even at that, it's minuscule. I'll get into that later, but let me finish the damage report. Turn 1, Crossbow True Strike, Eldritch Cannon Fireball deals an average of 82 points of damage, or if you cast Scorching Ray at 5th level, not 3rd, Eldritch Cannon Fireball, 96 points of damage, an average hit of 21.5, or a spell save DC of 9, and a spell save DC of 19. That is our build. Now, as you can see, from level 15 to level 20, our damage goes up by 4 with our crossbow version, or by 6 with Scorching Ray. Man, that is terrible scaling, and I mean truly terrible scaling. Yeah, again, because we want to know what's funny? We stopped getting subclass features, so the Artificer just stopped scaling. I mean, this scaling, again, the only reason why our damage is a little higher is because our proficiency bonus went up, um, stuff like that. Like, very small, minute stuff. Alright, oh yeah, our Eldritch Cannon doubled. That gives us some of the extra damage. Our Scorching Ray got a little higher. But yeah, overall, it is pretty damn weak. And I'm just kind of like, meh. It is just like, wow, this is truly weak. Okay, well, it's weak scaling wise. Okay, that's okay. Final thoughts section. Let me get out the outro before I go into final thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That's your host, Thursday signing out. Peace. But yeah, now time to final thoughts. Scaling wise, holy hell, is this terrible. Now, when it comes to sustained damage, this is super good, which is honestly kind of nice. Now, we're doing an average of 82 points of damage, wasting little to no resources, which is similar to the amount a monk is doing. Now, the monk does do a little more, but they're casting Hex, which is going to do 1, so, we'll get that up. But granted, you can reapply Hex, but it takes more seconds, and whatever. But yeah, turn 1 Crossbow, True Strike, Eldritch Cannon, Fireball is actually doing a pretty nice amount of damage. 82, and this is something you can do for multiple combats, if, like, more than 2, or, like, at least 2. And, casting a Scorching Ray does give you a little bit more damage, but really not enough to really warrant anything. Oh, the damage increases because of crossbow, crossbow True Strike scaling. Eldritch Cannon doesn't do anything, but I think it's just purely because of crossbow True Strike, doing a little more damage with its scaling. But overall, yeah, sustained damage, this is really good. But the fact that these two, 5 levels away from each other, look almost exactly the same damage-wise is super concerning to me. And really just a big issue of the Artificer. That, yes, it is doing significant damage. Yes, Eldritch Cannon, Fireball are good, but it's not a base class feature. And it kind of hits the nail on the head, because at levels 15, at level 16 to 20, you're not getting a subclass feature. You're just doing pure Artificer features, and as you can see, they're all extremely underwhelming. So yeah, there's not really much here that can kind of make up for how bad this is. Now I guess you could cast Fireball again instead of Scorching Ray, but I think Scorching Ray actually does more. I mean, I guess, yeah, well, yeah, maybe you should be taking Fireball instead and casting at third. Would that do more damage? No, I don't know. Well, I mean, either way, today's build, I like to do Scorching Ray better because I just felt more thematic today's build, and I'm still deciding how I want to build it. But yeah. I mean, we're already casting Fireball once. I guess double Fireball would be fun, huh? I guess you could do double Fireball if you really wanted to. But still, even with the double Fireball, it doesn't really do much more damage. Actually, it kind of does. Well, I guess it's a dex save instead. I mean, guessing if the enemy has a low AC, then Scorching Ray probably would be better. But whatever. That's semantic at that point. But yeah, either way, I don't know. I just. Like, I really wish the Artificer could stand on more than just its subclass, like how the other classes can stand. I don't know, I just find it super annoying. I feel like this Artificer is just 2014 wise, this is good. 2014, this fits right in. But we're in 2024. This is a new era of damage, of everything. And yeah, this is a straight class build. But honestly, in 2024, most builds being straight class are better than being multi-class. Like, that isn't a hot take. That's just kind of the truth at this point. So yeah, I don't really know how I feel about the Artificer, this is good damage, but only because it's artillerist. I guarantee you, if we go Battlesmith, oh, oh, God, I nearly vomited from thinking of going armor. But yeah, armor and Battlesmith definitely are not going to be able to hold on to the same escalon of power that the artillerist is. So yeah, it sucks. I hate it. But yeah, now for a little, I guess, a little spoiler. I will now be covering the new Forgotten Realms subclasses. I'm not gonna cover all of them. I'm only gonna cover the ones I care for, which will be the Purple Dragon Knight, the Way of the Genie's Paladin, Scion of the Dreaded Three or the Dead Three, and damn, there's one more. Oh, and the Blade Singer. I'm gonna be covering those four. Cause those are the ones I care for. Oh wait, hold on. Wait, what's this beautiful YouTube channel? Oh, I guess it's right here. You guys might as well subscribe. But yeah, that's today's video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, that will be OT19 signing out. Peace, peace.